So let's see, does this use Firebase? This does not. This one does. Okay, so let me open this up. And let me switch. So which one is this? This one is... Oh, did I set up a database for this? Add child? Oh, I think I did. Never mind. Okay. Hold on. Configuration issues. You guys will never be able to guess my password. I think it was chat up. I'm 100% sure. I feel like I shouldn't be teaching Brandon anything. Just don't try to hack people. Okay, did I do this one? That's weird. I did do it here. Okay, chat app. Sorry, just give me a second. Chat app, it's this one. Database, let me confirm. Config key, API key, blah, blah, blah. VBA. Yep, this is it. Cool. So the last one was cats. Yep. All right, got it.
Hey Omar, I have a quick question about when you're in that console online.
Okay.
How do you get? Where's that config? The config stuff? I keep forgetting where it is.
Overview.
Overview.
So you click on Overview, and then you click on Add Firebase to your web app.
Ah, sweet. Thank you.
Okay. So Mario's question was about how the information gets updated when information changes, and how that information is returned. So when you set information, or when you push information into a database, so when you're saving information in the database, like for instance in this way using push or using set, what happens is that information gets sent up to the database. So for instance, if we go here, go to the database, and notice that we have all this information here. So let's say I wanted to update cats. If I wanted to update cats, then what I would do is I need the ID of what cats is. So it's going to be the last one in there. So I'm just going to cheat, because in order to get the last one, I already showed you guys the code for getting the last element in an array. So let's say you wanted to update this. Actually, why don't we update it based on something specific? So where comment is equal to cats. Okay. So let's see. If I want to make changes, so let's just add an update. And this might be something you guys might be interested in. So let's say you guys wanted to not just create and display. Let's say you wanted to update some information. So you retrieve a user, you retrieve something, right? So why don't I add an update button here? This would be a good example. If I have that submit button, I can also create an update button. Makes it pretty easy. So instead of type equals submit, update ID equals update user. Oh, this takes me back to my PHP days. Okay. Update. Oh man. Okay. If I refresh this page, nothing happens because it's a piece of shit. What the hell happened? I saved it. Oh, I have the wrong one open. So let me open up this one. There we go. Now we have update. Cool. So this is the correct one. So now what I can do is if I put in either name, email, or age, and this is a general concept that goes across databases, and it's a database concept called CRUD. So you might want to look up CRUD. Let's just look this up real quick. So if we look at CRUD, put in all capitals, it's a substance that is disgusting or unpleasant, typically because of its dirtiness. Also, create, read, update, and delete. So it says, in computer programming, create, read, update, and delete are the 4 basic functions of persistent storage. So alternate words are sometimes used when defining the 4 basic functions of CRUD. So we're going to be using this CRUD stuff as a concept. The concept is pretty simple though. So far we've been able to create information, we know how to read information, but we haven't really been updating or destroying too much, right? So let's go into updates. So if I want to find some piece of information that already exists, like let's say I type in, all right, this one is name, email, age, and let's say that the names are unique, cats. Hopefully there's nothing else that has cats. Maybe let's find something even better, something that's even more unique, like Babowski or something. This would be super unique. Yeah, let's do Babowski. Alright, so I'm going to add some logic to find the object for Babowski. Okay. So I do on click. Who's snapping their fingers? Can't give you guys any privileges. All right. All right, so we have Babowski that we're going to look for. I'm going to copy this in. Prevent defaults. And we're going to start doing some pseudocode. So looking for Babowski. Where's Babowski? That's the question everyone was asking. So what I did was I said, I need to figure out a way to get information from the existing database, update it, and do it from the same form. So what I did was I added an update button, and then I created an event listener for this button. So now let's think about this. Okay, so we're looking for Bobovsky. So the next things that we need to do are we need to say, okay, well, I'm looking for Bobovsky. First, how do I find Bobovsky? So what do I do? Well, first I need get information from the form about user. So it's not just for Bobovsky, but about whatever or about object you're looking for. Then I could probably use that information to send to Firebase and send to Firebase to query. Let's see. Use information as query to Firebase and perform. Actually, first query to Firebase. Yeah, let's do that. And then once information is found, perform an update with new information. So if we want to update with new information, then we actually have to create additional fields for this, right? So we're going to make it really easy. We're just going to add additional fields here, right? So if you click on update, what would be better is you have a separate form, but I'm going to be really lazy. So I'm just going to say, let's see. Right now I'm just going to leave it so it uses the name to look up something, and I can change the email and age and the how did you hear about us. A better way to do it would be if I had this update separately, and then what this would do is show a modal. It says, okay, one side would be find your user using the name, and the other side would be what do you want to update the information to, and then it would show you different fields that you use to update that information. You click on the button for update, and then it'll take you here. So right now I'm just going to cheat, and we're just going to use name to find it, and we're going to update these three fields. Is there any question about that?
Yeah. Why couldn't another possibility be that you just send, I guess, when you push update, those same values go back to the same inputs?
Wait, so if you had a bunch of values in here, why wouldn't you just use those to update the values?
Oh, I guess it's hard-coded in your code that when we click update, we look for Bobovsky?
Right now, it's going to be hard-coded such that if I click update, then it's going to take whatever value is in name. It's going to look for that. Once it finds it, it's going to update it with whatever's in email, age, and how did you hear about us.
Okay.
It's a bad way of doing it. Better way would be I don't have time for that, is to create a modal that allows you to do all that information separately.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I kind of have a question just on the process. If this is more like a backend kind of server management thing, or is it just kind of just a way to through this web portal make corrections?
There's no server management. Right now it's just the database that we're working with. So right now we have this simple HTML form. The HTML form allows us to then send information. If I click on something, then I make a request. So same thing as we've been doing before. Instead of clicking on add user, I just click on update user. So update user, I think, is what I named it, right? Is that what I named it? Update user, yeah. So now we can say update user. Okay, so let's see. Look for first thing we need to do is looking for user input or username. Let's see. Find or get information from form for user lookup. So now let's just fill out this little pseudocode area. So what I do is I say var name is equal to, oh, let me let my stupid dog out. Alright, so var name is equal to, it's going to be the same thing in here. So just copy all this. Oh, we already have this name over here. Now, why is this name going to be different than this name? If I do this.
Is it because we're clicking on update instead?
Well, that, and also because of what? What's the concept that we learned where variables have different values depending on where they are?
Nested in something else.
Scope. Yes, so this is nested within a different function. So this name, because it's nested in this function, isn't available outside of this function. Right now, outside of this function, name is just equal to empty string. If I do this, inside this function, name is equal to the value that we get back. So why don't I test this out? Console.log, I do name, and let's see if this works. So I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to put poopy boo. Crap, sorry. Oh, shut up. Let's see, unexpected token, line 186.
On that function, the open parentheses at the end, or the
Oh.
closing parentheses.
Yeah, there we go. Wait, what did I do wrong? Is that it?
You need to add it to the, there we go, down there.
Oh yeah, there you go. I always mess that up. Thank you. Okay. Oh, too much information back. Let's see, what did I want back? Originally, let me get rid of all the other console logs. Okay, good. So if I put in Mr. Poopy, hit update, I get back Mr. Poopy. Good. So that's working. So now we're just testing it step by step, right? So, Jordan, so what did I just do?
Let me see. Just, honestly, I'll let somebody else take that one.
Jordan, I'm asking you. You want to
Uh,
call a friend, or do you want to try and figure it out? Just based on.
Yeah, I want to call. I want to call a friend right now.
All right. So who's the friend that you want to call? You have a list of names.
Anybody?
Who is it?
I said anybody.
All right.
Anybody? I don't know that
can
guy.
try. I'll try it out. Are you talking?
Nick-
I'll try it out, but I'm not sure if it's right.
And who
Well,
is
we're
this?
gonna get-
Who is this that's talking?
Nicholas.
Nick.
It's Nicholas.
Nicholas. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Omar?
How are you?
So on click, we're gonna get a ID user update, which you just created. That event will come in to the function, and what we're gonna do is prevent the default
Mm-hmm.
of the input. I guess it's a form piece, and
Mhm.
then we're going to get the value that's in there and assign it to the variable name, and then log that name out.
Yep. Exactly. Good job. So what we did was we just said, okay, we're using the same form, and now I just have a different event listener. I could have 1,000 buttons that do a whole bunch of different things, which makes it pretty cool, right? I just hit update, and it'll do something completely different than if I hit submit. So right now I'm just doing update. When I click on update, I get Mr. Poopy. So it's just giving me the value back from Mr. Poopy. Notice that it says 2 times now. It says it doesn't want to put it on a new line because it's the same value. Good, so that works. Now it says get the information from the form about object you're looking for. Ooh, how do we do that? Okay, so let's look for that information. Let's see, retrieving data. Retrieving data would be, how do we retrieve data again? And Firebase. Is it all asynchronous? Let's just use ref.once. So I just want to read some information. So my ref is going to be at, what is it going to be at? DataRef.onValue. DataRef is the root. Yeah, let's use DataRef. Right. So I just want to get back some information. The information that I want to get back is going to be, that I want to read is a for loop that I'm going to pass on to DataRef. And that should work. Okay, and then let me get back data.val. And let me console log that out. And make sure this works. This stupid piece of crap. Get out of here. Okay, yeah, that's correct. And let me just refresh this. I put Mr. Poopy. Hit update. Oh, data.ref is not a function. Did I use data.ref? Data. Where is it at? 239. Let's see, 239. Oh, okay. I changed some variables. That messed things up. Okay, let's just get rid of that, and I'll just add it here. Ref. And that should fix it. Mr. Poopy. Update. And we get back our information that we expected. Cool. By the way, once is a cool retrieval method. So what it does is it just says, hey, database, give me back information this one time. I don't need to get information back a billion times every time everything changes. So once is just like, give me back this information, okay? All right, so we got back our information. So now we know, here's this information that we have. And we want to know, or we know that we want to get back the information more specifically. So why don't we make a better query? So we go to Firebase, queries, come on. Blah, 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 blah. Catching callbacks, reading data once. Ordered by key, nope. Ordered by value, nope. There you go, complex queries. Nope. Ooh. No. Where's the queries? Range, and that. Nope. Oh, wow, you can pass in regex. That's pretty cool. That's not what I want. Oh, equal to. Order by child is equal to, will that do it? No, that won't work. Yeah, I could just use a for each, but that's not a good way of doing it. I'd like to use this equal to method, actually. Let's see if it works the way I want it to. No, that's not going to work. We need a more complex one. No. No. I could cheat. I could say search thing is, I want this whole piece of data back. Now, look at what I'm trying to solve here. I have all these objects, and what I want back is this object over here. So what I'm trying to say that if I want this object back, this entire object with this, I'm trying to get it back based on this key. Now, I know what the key is already. I know that my key that I'm using is, sorry, I'm trying to get back, what is it, Brokowski? Babowski. So I want this whole object back because I want to be able to then update this key. I think there's the ability to say, okay, dot key, and then this object has this information inside this key. Now what we really want back is this key based on the query that I'm making with this name. Right? So ideally, what I'd be doing is, I'm putting in Babowski, hit update, and I still get back everything. Now, I only want to get back that one specific key. So why don't we look up Firebase retrieve data based on input. How to retrieve data from Firebase database. Blah, 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 blah. I don't like this method. See, this is very expensive, but apparently that's the only way to get something back. All right, we'll just use it then. I think there's a better way of doing it. If there is, and I come up with something, I'll update the Stack Overflow. So what they want me to do is I use the snapshot from here. And what I do is I go through the snapshot and I say, okay, for each one, go through each snapshot and give me the information for each one. So if I console.log this, it's going to give me back the information for each object. It's a little bit too much. I put Babowski, hit update, and look at that. I get back the child objects and all the information inside of the child objects, right? Sorry, does this, I went through it a little bit fast. What's happening right now is I said, okay, every time someone clicks on this update user, I get the name. I then say, okay, update this value, or sorry, do this once. So return back the information and at this location, whatever location. Now go through each, this for each loops through each object or each key inside of this area. So I'm saying, okay, give me back the child snapshot, right? So now I say the child snapshot, which is just every object inside the database, right? So this one. So these are all the children of this parent node. Anyone confused about that so far? No? Let's see. Got it. Okay.
Hey, Omar, I had a question.
Who is this?
Nicholas.
Okay.
Hey, I was wondering if we could just say if the object has a certain name,
Yeah.
then return it to us.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm about to do. But I want to take it one step at a time.
Okay. I was just but thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So what Nicholas mentioned was what I was going to do, which is that if let's do. Man, I have to do another for loop. That's kind of stupid. This is gonna be really expensive. Okay, this isn't a good way of doing it. Okay.
Could you explain why it's expensive?
Yeah, I'll explain after I'm done doing it. And let's do key in child data. Now do if child data key is equal to Babowski. Or actually, not even Babowski. I can just do is equal to name. So now it's more dynamic. Let's do console.log. Found it. And then we'll do console.log. Child data. Oh shit, hold on. Actually, I think my dog's getting in the fight with the raccoon. Give me a second.
No worries.
Bro, kill him. Oh, you're Go. Sorry, I just playing with another dog.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he never gets into fights, so I was kind of confused. All right, so this is actually a method I think is built into Firebase. Let me see if it works. And honestly, you can only know this if you like looked up the documentation. So
So much.
so much.
There's 12 people in there now.
Okay, so we weren't able to find Babowski. Let me see if I spelled it right. It's like a made-up word. Let's see, Babowski. Ah, capital B. That's why. So I didn't spell it right. I didn't spell out my own made-up word right. No. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we found it. Okay, so that worked. And oh, I'm not able to get key. Is a key like this? Let's do Babowski again. Let's see. Snapshot key Firebase. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, snapshot.key. That should have worked. Oh, stupid. I'm calling it on child data. Child snapshot. Ugh. Sorry, I'm gonna not confuse you guys in like just a second. I'm trying to go slow. And let me move that. And if I put in Babowski, hit update. There we go. So we just completed the next step. So let me show you guys what I did. So this is where your algorithm skills are going to come in. Let's see if anyone can figure this out. I'm going to just leave it on the screen. Why don't you guys discuss it with each other for about 5 minutes? And if you guys want to follow along, the file that I'm using is recent users with all users.html. This is in the last class that we have, 7.3, and the activity is 03 add child. And again, that's recent user with all users. So discuss with each other for about 5 minutes. Open the mics.
Somebody want to start? Mario, go for it.
Jeez. I'm on, right?
Yeah, you're on. I can hear you.
All right, so let's see, data ref dot on once. So do this thing once.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. Sounds good. Good.
Snapshot the value that's returned in that function. I mean,
Okay.
of those keys. Look for each. Look each time you come across a child.
Okay.
Send us the value of that child. So now I'm on 194.
Okay.
The information that we get back from that child. So child snapshot dot value is the value of each child we're cycling through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the val gives you the object.
Yeah.
The dot val gives you object.
So 195. So let's see, for each child. Okay, so for each child, it's looking at all the keys in that snapshot value of that object.
Yep.
So for each key, so for each value in the object, if child data, if the value in the object equals the name in the input, then console log found it. And then 198, give us that same object. Within that same object, give us its key. 198, right?
Mm-hmm. No, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Talking about it line for line like makes you understand it a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So is key just a variable that's in Firebase, just that's already in there? Or?
Key, you mean from if child data key? That one?
Or you're talking about 195, line 195 for
Yeah.
in?
Oh yeah. Key. Prop. Oh, it's interchangeable.
Yeah, that
Oh.
I think that in general is just I guess a
That's
standard.
that's just a one item inside of the. It's one item. It's interchange. That variable is interchangeable. It could be anything. It's like L inside of list.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think this for var prop in child data is available in objects specifically, I think.
Huh.
So for each value in an object, do this. So we're checking every value within the child data object.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh.
So, do you guys have your final answers?
Yeah, I think we do. I feel like, I mean, Mario went over it pretty well and clearly, actually.
Okay. Mario, do you want to explain line 192?
Line, I'm unmuted. Okay. Line 192, data ref. So data ref, we're going to the root folder and we're going to .1. So we're going to look at this part, this root of the folder one time, and we're going to look at the values within that folder and send us back.
Well, you want to consider them folders. They're just locations.
Okay. Send us a snapshot of this root location once.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Yeah. So give us this information once. Now, all the information that's in there. Now, for each object that exists at that location, for each child object, now what we're going to do is for each. Now, for each, what it does is you're saying this is basically a for loop. This is a for loop where I is less than the length of all the objects inside of this location. All right, so if there's like 5 objects at this location, in this case, this is going to run. Where the hell is our stuff? Okay, so this is going to run how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
So is that why it's expensive?
This could be very expensive. This is actually cheap for us right now, but yeah, I don't like this because not only am I running this many times, I'm also running this using another for loop within this for loop. So it's very expensive. So I need to find something that, and again, I don't memorize this documentation. Notice that in order to find the information that I wanted, what I did was I started looking to the docs and I said, oh, okay, that doesn't look like what I want. That doesn't look like it. And then I just kept going through each one. And for you guys, it's going to take a lot longer in the beginning. I mean, I'm just used to this, right? Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, shit, what is that? Oh, crap, what is this? What does that mean? So now I can look through it after a while of being able to just go through this documentation a lot faster. And you guys should be able to
tell that this is a skill that you've kind of honed in on because you're really good at flipping through to find certain sections.
But you guys will be too. Like in the beginning, I was like, wait, we can combine start at and end at, and then be like, wait, what is start at and end at? Oh, okay. And then I'd have to, it'd be long. But then once you get used to it, then you're like, okay, what do I want? I just want Oh, okay, this is what I want. Okay, order, no. Because these concepts exist across SQL and all other database stuff too. So now that we have our information, what we're doing is we're saying, okay, now give me each child, and the child is just going to be an object, right? So we ran a for each. So every time it runs through this loop, it's saying, okay, give me child data, which is child snapshot.val, and because I converted it into an object, I can now do a for in loop, which allows me to go through each one. And then when I'm going through each one, I'm basically just saying, now find me the specific key for each one. So it's going through each one. It's like, okay, so what happens is this will run first, and I'll say, okay, go through this one. So at this point, the first time it runs, it says go through the first child snapshot. Okay, so go through this first one, and for if the key is equal to the name that was put into the to this form, then return me something that says found it, and this is a property that exists on the snapshot object. But it doesn't exist on the snapshot object when you convert it into an object. This exists on the binary object that gets returned. So that's why it wasn't working before, and then I remembered, oh, it's a binary object. I have to call it on the root object, not converted. So then this dot key, it exists as a property. It's like length exists as a property, dot key exists on this snapshot property. So if you go in this order, what happens is it'll say, okay, go through this first object, then do the for in loop. The for in loop is like, okay, age is equal to 12. That's not matching. Comment Duck Magazine. That's not matching. This is blah, blah, blah. That's not matching. This is blah, blah, blah. This is not matching. Blah, blah, blah. That's not matching. So what you're doing is you're going through each key and trying to find if that key has a certain value. And so this will go, and then it'll say, okay, once this for in loop is done, then it'll say, okay, finish this object. Now we go on to the next object, for each. Now go through this for in loop. And eventually, it gets to here, and it finds, oh, Babowski. Okay, cool, I found it. So if I found it, say it found it, and console.log the key for the object that this name value belongs to. So we found it, and now we have the key. And it's like, okay, big whoop, who gives a shit, right? Well, it's actually pretty cool because using this dot key, we can actually then update the information. So we've actually used this information to query to Firebase. Oh, no. So this one is going to be... Yeah, actually, this one was not necessary because we just queried it and... oh, no, sorry. This part was not necessary. This is the use information as query to Firebase. Okay. So now we're going to actually have to use a promise. So what we're going to do is I have to return this. And I forgot how to return the child snapshot.key. So let me see. If I have this, once this is done, this will execute. Okay. Okay, return that. And then I'd have to use a promise at this point. Let's see if all this still works. Oops, 203. Do I not need that? Yeah, I thought I would need that. Huh. Odd. Okay. Babowski. update. Response is not defined. Oh, because I'm not returning anything yet. Lebowski. Okay. So far this isn't hurting it, but I still need to return this. So now this is being returned back to this for each. I wanted to actually return back to this once, so then I could use it and send it somewhere else. So how do I return a nested? Return nested. Yep, this is what I want. Oh dear. I'm not returning the function properly though. Come on. Oh, do I return the whole thing? No. No, I can't do that. That's crazy. Let me do something simpler. But this is an asynchronous call. Equals. Let's see if this works. I doubt it will because I need to make it asynchronous, but let's see if it does. Lebowski. Yep, that works. Oh, that was easy. See, can I just take that out? Is it that easy? Yeah, wow, that's pretty easy. Okay, so I guess this does work synchronously. Alright, haha, my solution's better than theirs. Alright, so solutions found on Stack Overflow weren't that good, so I found an easier one that I made up, and this one seems to be better. I assumed that this was asynchronous, meaning that whatever came after here would not be reliant on this code, but I'm able to see this child snapshot.key right over here. Maybe it is asynchronous though, and the execution is so fast that once I get to this point, it just automatically shows it because it runs afterwards. Anyway, I'm just going to use this for now. So I have the key. So now I have the information found. So once information is found, perform an update with new information. Okay. So now I know I have the object that I want to change. So from here, it's pretty simple. I just do, okay, what is it, set or update? What is update? So now we look at update. Save data, yeah, let's go to save data. Oh, we already have it. Let's see, update. By the way, if you guys are doing like fake user authentication, this would actually really help you a lot. It's the exact same logic. Meaning that if you want to find a user that exists in your database, this is the same logic, except for the updating part. So if you want to find a user, then you're almost done. If you want to update it, you're also almost done. No. I just want to update one of them. Here we go. Update ref equals, what was this? Data ref dot ref dot child, and the child is the key without quotes. Can I just display this? I don't think I can. No, I don't think I can. Okay. So I'm going to do update ref, and I'll just show you guys what I'm doing afterwards. And I'm going to update. Let's just manually update something. So simple, one thing at a time. Let's update the comment to there. And if I run this, I refresh, hit Babowski, hit update, it runs, I don't get any information back, but look at that. So now it says, lols, you got hacked. So I updated my information. And what else should I do with this? Oh, right. Yeah, let's make it better. Okay, so now we're going to get the rest of the information. So now we're going to update it with real information. So email, age, and comment. So let's just take that from here. Actually, no, let me stop. So what I did here was I said, okay, I have this information coming from this database, right? And I have the key to the object. Now that I have the key to the object, what I want to do is I say, all right, find me the location of that object using that key. So this whole purpose of this whole giant piece of crap was to just find the key, like meaning the name of the object, based on some information inside the object from the user input. Does anyone get confused about this part? All right. So then what we did was we said, okay, now give me the object referring to, or give me the location referring to that key. So now this location is going to be here. So it's giving us back this. And we're saying, okay, at this point, at this location here, at this key, what I want to do is I want to update just the comment. So at this location, update the comment to say this value. But instead, I'm going to now change that to be from the user input. So I'm going to paste all this crap in there. And instead of comment lols you got hacked, I'm going to put comment. Wait, let's see. Email, I'm going to put email. Let's see what other things are supposed to be. Email, age. So it is age, okay. Alright, now that should work. So now if I want to update information from this page, I do Babowski. Just type in the name that I want to change, and I change the email to blah d boop at meow.com, age 35, carefully. I hit update, and if I go to the console, I see all that information being updated. Now, why don't we try, and you guys might be like, oh, okay, fine, what if you cheated and maybe just hacked this and you guys, I wasn't being fair or something, you guys don't see some code that I might have just made up. So why don't we change the code that's actually on the outside. So instead of cats, we're going to use this query that takes the name and changes all the other information. So if this is cats, and we're doing the query based on this cats value, what I'm going to do is say cats. All right, no cats at nevercats.cats. Age, I'm going to put 1. I'm going to put F gatos. But update. I know the information got updated. Oh, is that not the last piece of information anymore? Wait, what? It's updated. Is this the wrong database? Oh shit, this might be going to... Oh! I know why. Do you guys remember what event listener we were using for this?
Submit?
Was it child added?
Child added. So we didn't add a child. Instead...
So child update?
Yeah, so let's just put it on value. So now, if I hit refresh, everything gets destroyed. What the hell is going on?
Doesn't value eliminate everything at the root?
Oh, it doesn't eliminate everything, but
Replaces it?
no, I need to do child, not on child added, but on
Child changed?
hold hold on. This won't work either. Yeah, because all right. Basically, don't worry about it. So what's happening is this will run. Notice that this shows up now. It's because we're using the wrong event listener to update the information. This only gets updated every time something gets added to it. Only when a child gets added. Never when the child gets updated or everything. So if I went to, if I change this to, on value, and then I did for each on the snapshot, then this would work. All this would work. But I didn't do that. So that's it. Okay. So we basically just created some really complex functionality. What do I do now? Yeah, why don't I just open up to questions? Let's see, we have a decent amount. We have 12 people here. None of you guys have questions? Here, let me Slack out this file to you guys. Okay,
So
yeah.
So for the things that we just did, we're kind of redundant by putting the name here and name in one place and then those same name input in another place. Is that cool? Because I can't think of another way we could have done it.
You could have created a function, I guess, but honestly, this is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to create a function for it, no, it's much better to do this. This you can't really optimize. So this would be good for, this part right here would be good for retrieving information. And then after you have the key, then you can say, oh, okay, well, I found your user. And then you could display something about that user to the field. So let's say that, actually, well, I think this is more than enough for one day. I don't want to confuse you guys. Oh, yes, thank you, Brandon. Any other questions? You guys want me to go over? I think Michael asked about the basics, so here's some configuration stuff. Remember, you copy and paste. I think you already asked this, though, right, Michael?
Yeah, I did ask that. I get this part, initializing Firebase and all that, but it's really just once I create input fields on my the HTML, got all the JavaScript worked out, and it just pushes into the Firebase, and the Firebase is automatically going to create a unique identifier with child objects for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Then. I guess I was just looking for like the video example from class. I think just maybe wrap my head around it. And then when I went to check out the videos, there was only audio.
Yeah, sorry about that. This time it's not going to be.
Okay, I think I can just kind of work through that.
Cool.
So, like at the beginning of this example, it kind of seemed like, I don't know, like it was something unattainable. But then I guess going step by step, you just validate each little step first and then go to the next step, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your pseudocode?
Yeah, make sure you pseudocode, look over your pseudocode, make sure it makes sense. Try to implement the pseudocode. If the implementation doesn't work, then refactor it and be like, okay, think about it again, go back to the whiteboard. This is all critical thinking. This part is all critical thinking. This is like algorithmic stuff, right? Most of the time, what you guys are going to be doing is plumbing, which is just connecting things together. But having this algorithmic thinking is actually the funnest part of doing development, because it's like, holy crap, like I'm like, solving complex problems and like, then you can get competitive with it. Like, I become stupid sometimes and be like, oh, their solution's dumb. Like, mine's better. But it becomes fun.
I like how you went hunting for the functions, or it's just kind of Googling it and seeing what was available to you.
Yeah, no, you have to be lazy. Look at what other people have solved and see if their solutions make sense, and then try to implement them. Because again, I don't have all the answers. None of us do. Most people would just be Googling most of the time. Just the speaker that came in today is really smart, has a computer science degree, all that stuff. But he mentioned today, he's like, oh yeah, I Stack Overflow like most of my stuff. And that's fine if you're doing algorithms. For homeworks, I want you guys to try and figure those out on your own. But when you guys are working on projects, then like, yeah, look for the algorithms that exist, try and understand them, see if they're pertinent to what you're doing. And then you can use those to help you solve your own problems.
So for function on 196, where it says function snapshot, what's the difference between a callback function and a promise? Because it
Same
seems
thing.
like
It's pretty much the same thing. A callback is just a promise. Sorry. A promise is just a callback. And promises are chainable. Callbacks are chainable too. They're just more. You run into this weird nested architecture, which just becomes visual hell.
And a callback implicitly returns value generated by that method?
Correct. In this case, it does. Yeah, for Firebase, it does. And it's populated into this variable snapshot. Any other questions? These are good questions.
Are they only questions pertaining to this thing?
No. You guys can ask other questions.
So I wrote it on Slack. So do we think these little small components in Firebase, like data ref and then .ref, each part of those little pieces just make up a component of a URL we're calling out to?
I wouldn't say URL, but a location. Yeah, it is basically it is URL. I keep forgetting Firebase is weird. Yeah, it's essentially URL or a location path in Firebase. And like I said, there's not going to be any other database that really works like that, except I think Firebase is like the only one.
Okay, so if I guess we got called data ref, and we console back what we're getting, but we as we keep adding dot whatever, we know that part of the link is broken if that's where our fault is, right?
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
I guess since each method or like dot ref, and then we have
once.
I guess they're all just pieces of a much larger location URL.
So yeah, these methods act on the location. These methods can only be used on a location.
Okay.
And so they give you guides for that. So I can use once, I can use on. On will be multiple times. Once will only execute once.
That's really dense. Double callback there. It's pretty sweet, actually. Thanks for showing us that, actually. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this, I think, piece of code right here, you guys can just copy it. And this could be really helpful if you guys are using that fake log, well, not fake, but it's like kind of login without really using the authentication.
Okay.
And it helps you look up things in the database. And I just sent it out too. All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go play Horizon Zero Dawn. Just bought it, and I'm really excited about it. So.
That's awesome.
Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
I guess last one.
Nope. Not gonna stream
He's gone.
it. Brandon, I'm just gonna kick him out of this class.
That's hilarious.
So on the on my function for, I guess, child, when I deleted a child,
Mm-hmm.
I, in that same button, when I pressed a certain button and delete that child, I also deleted the table row. Instead, should it be that on the child changed function, I should delete the table row just in case I delete it from the database?
Yeah, I would have it be one and the same, meaning that you delete not only the information from the database, but the HTML that it exists in as well.
Okay.
At Yen, yes, definitely, but it doesn't come out until the 25th. Thanks for asking the important questions. Brandon, you can use whatever medium you wish. Be creative. We are going to be recording you, though. Some people made videos. Yeah, you can, some people like did a dance and all this other stuff. But remember, this is going to be shown to employers, so. Oh, and by the way, if you want to just do remove, you just do this simple this, and then you wouldn't pass any arguments. You just remove everything. I think that's how it was. I'm pretty sure. Yes, Brandon, within appropriate limits. Alright, guys. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah?
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
No
thank
problem,
you very
guys.
much.
For sure. And this is recorded and I'll upload it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sweet.
No worries. Catch you guys later.
Peace out.
Peace.